Listen, I would say this, and I've been saying it for a while when it comes to Arsenal. I think when it comes to this season, last season I was saying this, but definitely this year, when it comes to the assessment of this Arsenal team now, I think you can compartmentalize the rebuild. Well done. You got us to a point where we were competitive. Now it's about winning these trophies. And I think that you have to be able to do that. And hugely disappointing result for Arsenal today. And we know Newcastle away is a tough game, but with the previous drop points, it's one you have to go and win. And league title winners in years gone by, including brilliant Arsenal teams, win this match by hook or by crook. They get it done.
Not even just win, though, Tel. Right? What you have to do is you have to at least match the results that Manchester City are getting. Manchester City went to James's Park earlier on in the season, and they got a draw. Okay, they dropped points, but they got a draw. We didn't even match that. You got to either better Man City's results or match them, and we just lost the game.
We didn't even look like we were fighting back. We look like somebody who was getting punched in the face and just taking it. And eventually it got to the point where it's like, when is Arteta going to make a substitution? The commentators at halftime were even shocked that he didn't make a change at halftime. I'm looking at this game and I'm saying to myself, you have a good enough team to beat this team. But even then, if you're going to make a change, you need to bring off Marino or somebody. Thomas Partey was the only person who's actually getting on the ball in the midfield and trying to do something. Newcastle basically said, keep the ball. You're not doing nothing with it. And the goal that we conceded, I can't even fault anybody. It was a beautiful goal from Newcastle. Isaac showed what he can do, being in the right place at the right time. Beautiful delivery from Anthony Gordon. I think there's so many players that were poor today. You can look at the two center backs. You can look at Timber, who was poor. You can look at the midfield. Declan Rice's delivery from set pieces today was horrific. The worst performance, one of the worst performances I've seen from him. We already know about Leandro Trossard. Guys, we were saying Ethan was going to struggle physicality-wise. Why was Leandro Trossard on the pitch for that long? He was struggling, and he's a grown-ass man. Now, when it comes to this performance today, I think this is the worst performance Mikel Arteta has seen from his side since we've been competing for the league. Since we've been competing for the league, I have not seen an Arsenal team go away from home and play this bad. Even when we went away to Fulham, we showed more fight than we did today. Everybody here on the screen has their head dropped for a reason, because these guys made us lose belief today. These guys made us lose belief that this team could actually get through the mud, because we literally had to weather the storm for one more game. One more game, Martin Odegaard would have been back. One more game, our creative hub would have been back. And to me, it's not even about Odegaard. Newcastle are not a team that have been beating a lot of teams lately. Newcastle's a team that was struggling to keep goals from going in the back of the net. Yes, they had a good performance against Chelsea. That might have given them confidence. What happened to our team? Mikel Arteta is fully to blame for this result, not the players. You have to look at the manager. You have to look at the managerial group. They were sitting there. I think it was 55 minutes into the game. They showed a pan shot of the three of them thinking and trying to come up with something. Why does it take them until the 61st minute to figure out what they're going to do? Why does it take so long? And the final thing, before I go any further, everyone's saying the title race is over, this and that about the title race. You want to know the honest truth? That's not in our hands. We don't know what's going to happen.
That's your biggest problem.
We don't know what's going to happen because we have no control over our own results. Right now, we haven't won a single game in 3. Guys, Terry, you're talking about clean sheets. Forget about clean sheets. 1 point in 3 games. 1 point in 3 games. You cannot let this slip away from your hands. We've already thrown it away to a certain degree. I'm not saying the title race is fully done, but we need a massive collapse from Man City. I still believe Liverpool will drop off at some point, but I stand by what I said. If Mikel Arteta somehow finds his way in a third in this league title with no trophies, yes, he's going to have to hold accountability. And today's performance, I put it fully on the manager. You've had injuries. You weather stormed. Also, have you put Gabriel out there injured? Was it worth the risk?
He wasn't injured. He wasn't injured.
Because Martinelli, another poor performance. Also, what are we going to do about Martinelli's poor form? How are these players going to get out of poor form if they're played the same way every game, and in the game you're not making changes? You want to know something? I used to make fun of Unai Emery a lot. One thing Unai Emery did that I want maybe a little bit more from Mikel Arteta, when he sees a game is going wrong, he makes a massive seismic change. And from Arteta today, I did not see enough from him as a manager to show me why to trust these players. But, yeah.
Okay, so we can talk about what Arteta did or did not do, and I agree with you. Managers should have made changes early, but then you also have to put it on the players as well. Newcastle today looked like they were playing with fire in their belly.
Yeah.
Newcastle players, after the first 15 minutes, literally lit a fire in their belly and started playing that way. They won every first ball, every second ball. They bullied us in the
We
midfield.
committed smart fouls as well.
Yes, they bullied us in the midfield. You would see our players get shoved off the ball and smile. You're at St. James's Park away. This is not the game where you need to start doing your little flicks and tricks. This is where you go in and you just get a simple 1-0 win and walk away from it. Like, go in and be nasty about it. So let's not even put this, like, the players themselves. Look, if a manager sets you up in a way where you think he's setting you up for failure, play with fire in your belly. Let me see you fight for those balls in his style. And if you lose it, then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, the manager is wrong. They played like they didn't want to win. We can blame Mikel Arteta for everything we want to blame him for. Is it Mikel Arteta's fault that we're missing the second tackles? Is it his fault that you're missing you're losing your aerial duels? Is it his fault? He's told you stay here and play in this circle, and you're playing in that profile he's asked you to, and you're losing out on your tackles. Is that his fault?
This is what I fault. This is what I fault Arteta for. This is what I fault Arteta for.
By the way, just to let you guys know, it's 1-0 to Bournemouth,
Bournemouth
by the way.
They almost scored in the first minute. But that's not the point.
Big deal. We know they're gonna win 5-0.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win anyway. I know Man City are gonna win like 5-1.
Yo, let me ask you one question.
Doesn't matter.
Let me ask you one question. After halftime, did we get better or did we get worse?
Exactly. Second half is the manager's half.
Listen, second half, yes, second half is the manager's half. My point again is this: second half, we got worse to me.
So is that not on the manager then, Dio?
No, I said we can put everything we need to put on the manager, but the players themselves, even the way he set them up, you could not see. Bukayo Saka gets shoved off the ball, gets up and he's smiling with the player. What are you smiling about? You have 15 more minutes. What are you smiling about? These guys are not smiling. Are you looking at Bruno Guimaraes' face? That guy looked like he was ready to massacre anybody.
Go to war.
So my thing.
But Dio, this is the thing though. This is the thing though. But you're saying, please, Dio, please. You're telling me to not blame the manager.
No, I did not say don't blame the manager.
I know. But you're telling me to look at players.
Dio, let's speak, please.
I just want to rebuttal quickly because you're telling me, okay, the players, we need to blame the players, yeah. But
I said blame the players
in the second half. If the second half, if the players are still being told to do something that's clearly not working, why are they gonna still be, bro? They're gonna be like, bro, can we change the tactics? Because clearly what you're telling us to do is not working. Countless amounts of times when we're doing set pieces, we're going to the back post. They've realized the game plan, guys. We don't need to go to the back post because they've got it covered all the time. So it's clearly the manager's tactics, which the manager between him, Airport Albert, and freaking whatever that guy's name, freaking Nick Jover, whatever his name is, yeah. Bro, they should come up, route their heads together, and come up with a better game plan in the second half, bro.
We played the ball to the back post, and we're jumping just like that. They're not even going for the ball. Newcastle, literally, I'm saying there's listen. Newcastle fought for every ball. Arsenal players did not fight for the ball today. I can understand what you mean by my thing is, if I put you in the position to play a certain way, go to the back post. If you fight for the ball fully, and then we get nothing out of it, I'll change the tactic. I've not seen you fight for the ball in what I've asked you to do already. You're just going there and allowing them shove you off the ball. So what are we talking about here? You're saying...
But Dio, your point holds weight if, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 players are having that issue. When it's the whole team, including players who are usually fighters, like Declan Rice, you have to look at the manager. The first half, I understand. Fair enough. The players should have bucked up a bit more, should have played a bit harder. When you get in the second half and you play worse, that means the manager's halftime talk did not instill any sort of belief in the players. It did not drive up the players. It did not motivate the players. When we're making the same exact mistakes in corners and the way we attack and how we slow down attacks when we're countering, that is 100% on the manager. You can look at 1 or 2 or 3 players and say, you 3, you 4 should have stepped up. But when you have a bunch of players, especially players who are usually good and attack really well, suddenly get worse in the second half, that is on the manager. And I'm not Arteta out or anything. You've had streams with me I back Arteta as long as he's progressing us. But in this game, 100% it's on him.
No, but hold on. We've got to do this. Sorry, Dio, 1 sec. We've got to do this.
The players also
Dio, 1 sec, bro. 1 sec. We've got to say this fairly. Both, bro. You can't just sort of go off the players, bro. These men were not there, bro. Their passing was shocking, bro. The amount of misplaced passing.
Trossard in particular.
Let's be real. Let's not defend one or the other.
How about this? You're both right.
We're not
and
defending
the player
the other.
was crap today.
Yeah,
the players as well were rubbish. Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, it's not all on the manager. It's not all on the players. It's a both of them today.
Combination.
To say the
Yeah,
players,
no,
to
definitely.
say it was all
Just kidding.
tactical. To say it was all tactical is rubbish, in my opinion, bro. Because I was watching man switch the ball off the pitch, pass. I see man passing, directly to Newcastle players, bro. Like they're colorblind, bro. Yeah,
But bro,
thinking
it's
it's red and white.
1 second. It's both. It's both. It's both. They're both terrible today. But the main thing is you have managers and coaches on the sideline, and their job is to change the flow, to fix things.
Exactly.
Newcastle, their whole task was to keep the 1-goal lead. We have a better team than Newcastle. We have better players than Newcastle. We have a better manager than Newcastle, in my opinion. But they outdone us today. And that's where I put it on Arteta.
They were the better team.
I do blame both. But Newcastle today were better than us, and that is on the manager. Because guess what? If we go out there, play 10 times, we probably win 8 of them. But today was on Arteta and Eddie Howe.
Yeah, but you know what?
When
Yeah,
you haven't
but you
got
know-
X factor
but you
on
know
the
what,
bench.
though,
When
yeah,
you haven't
really-
got X factor on the bench, sorry,
Like-
bro. When you haven't got X factor on the bench, in these type of games, the thing that we can mainly blame him is starting 11 to bring players on, even at halftime, 60 minutes, whatever it is. When he brought players on, we don't have an X factor player on the bench right now that can come on and grab the game by himself and win us it, bro. And that's the problem, because once you add, hold on, no matter who you bring, no matter who we brought on, I'm being honest, no matter who we brought on,
Brighton has scored as well.
I hear that. Guys. Sorry, I want to go to Nathan on this. You want to make a point?
Yeah, but even when we did bring on the subs that we wanted, right? We wanted to see Ethan come into the squad, didn't we? Right? We wanted to see him play. It didn't get much better anyways. I mean, we can't scapegoat one or the other. It's both. The reality is that we play with no tempo. We play with no tempo, no desire. We didn't win no duels, right? So we can put it down to the manager's tactics as well. We can look at, in my opinion, the manager's a bit of a coward, because in reality is that we're switching up the whole way we play for Trossard. Right, we're having Havertz drop into the right half space. And we're in the positions in which Odegaard tends to occupy to accommodate Trossard in midfield, where we do have a natural player in Ethan who would be a like for like replacement for Odegaard. Sorry. So for me, it's like picking out like this whole kind of debate or argument about who's more to blame. It's both. The players did not show up today. We've seen it before. Even when we went to St. James's Park last season, we showed a bit of fight. We were in a battle with them. We didn't make it easy for them. Today, we just rolled over for them. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff, and everybody looked like they just got out of bed. And that to me is the most frustrating and disappointing thing. It was a disgraceful performance. Like you're going for a league title. You've talked about all these things about how hurt you were last season and how you want to make it right, and then you come and you show up like that. There was no urgency. That tempo, the way we moved the ball was like it was a 5-a-side, but like for geriatrics, where old people just kicking about in your 50s. You got no legs. There was no tempo. The ball was moving so slow. There was no rotations. If you saw the way that Newcastle opened us up, especially in that first half, with their rotations on their left hand, quick, incisive passing, where was that? Where was that? So we can hold both to account. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both.
Exactly.
And the manager
I think it's certainly both in these phases. I want to throw this